A while ago, I ranked the top strongest trainers from the first arc of Pokemon Adventures to see who were the strongest 10, and I'll be doing the same again today, but this time with the yellow arc. For this ranking, I'll be keeping in mind how the manga does their battles, which is different from the games and anime, being more like Street Wars in a way, meaning trainers can use anything they can get their hands on, including their own body and the surrounding area. With that explained, let's get straight into the rankings. Firstly though, some quick honorable mentions. We have the Kanto gym leaders. None of them are weak, especially Sabrina and Koga, but with the level of challenge going up ahead, they failed to reach the top 10. Starting us off at the number 10 spot, we have Lorelei. Right off the bat, her main technique is trapping opponents from moving with her ice voodoo dolls, this being the signature technique to her Jinx. Being able to trap opponents and eventually completely freeze them is as broken as it sounds, and it's why she easily makes the number 10 spot. But once you get past this, it's pretty much an open road, as seen with her fight with Green. If she's in a group battle or fighting against two opponents, this can be the deciding factor of a match, but when it's a one-on-one, it's not really the end of the world. All the trainers above her can definitely find a way to overcome this, either with pure strength or trickery, which brings us on to our number 9. Our 9th place strongest trainer is gonna be Green, which is exactly where she ranked last time, but in this case it's a big step up, since the competition's a lot fiercer. Before, Green used to get completely carried by her skills as a trickster, and here her tricking skills have certainly improved, being able to hide her Ditto anywhere, immobilize her foes, and having a mic that allows her to send commands to her Pokemon from a distance. But that's not where she cuts off, as now even her battling skills have improved, being able to defeat Bruno's Hitmonlee with a move she came up herself, utilizing Blastoise's cannons. However, this was only when the Pokemon didn't have its trainer present, so she loses some marks to that. Ranking just above Green, we have Bruno, the fighting type specialist of the Elite Four. Bruno's strength is near unrivaled, with only a few trainers being able to match him in a fair fight. But since the rules are straight up anything goes fights, he can only rank in 8th. Bruno's main power comes from his 3 heavy hitters, Hitmonchan, Hitmonlee, and Machamp. All 3 of them have a unique way of fighting that sets them above other Pokemon. Hitmonchan has all the elemental punches, allowing it to match up with nearly any Pokemon and counter them. Hitmonlee can stretch real far and attack from all angles. And lastly, here's Machamp, which is pretty much wearing a limiter in its belt. But once it's off, its true strength comes out, and can even take down Red's Poliwrath. And that's all we've got for the pros. The cons is the reason why this guy maxes out here. Bruno's strong and has a solid battle IQ, but that's it. He's a fair fighter and is kind to his surroundings, but because of this, he can either get outsmarted or just straight up overpowered by other trainers. Not to mention getting manipulated. So for that, he's going to be ranking here. Surprisingly, for number 7, we have Agatha, the old ghost lady. In battles where even trainers have to move around, you'd expect the old lady to not make the top 10. But her skills as a trainer more than enough make up for her lack of mobility. She's a master when it comes to controlling the battlefield and nerfing her opponents, especially with her signature technique, the Dream Eater Coffin. It places trainers themselves in a coffin, whilst Gengar sucks out their life energy from their sleeping bodies. She can also blind and paralyze others through the use of Gengar's Lick Attack. And of course, we can't forget the fact that she straight up can control other trainers and Pokemon through the use of some spiked cuffs or by simply using her Ghastly. But when she's not targeting trainers themselves, she also has her Arbok, which can change its chest pattern to fight foes, having the ability to boost its attack, speed, or be invulnerable to poisons. With all this, she's clearly one of the strongest and most experienced trainers to ever be seen. But of course, we can't ignore the glaring issue of old age. Taking the number 6 spot, we have the leader of Team Rocket, Giovanni. This Mafia boss had quite a fall from grace compared to the last ranking video, where he ranked first. But that's only due to how many trainers I believe can pull off the feats he can. His best and only showcase in this arc was breaking through Lance's seemingly impenetrable lava bubble formation and holding the guy at needle point. Technically this counts as him defeating Lance, but I'm only giving him part of the credit since he was the 3rd trainer Lance fought in that battle. Other than that, the remaining 5 could definitely beat him in a one-on-one 6v6 battle. Marking the halfway point, we have a controversial pick, and that's going to be Yellow. She's honestly a hard trainer to rank due to her fluctuating power. She can either be weaker than everyone on the list, or the potential strongest, which is why things are kinda techie. At her strongest, she went toe-to-toe with Lance, and after getting help from the others, she then overpowered him. So you'd think that means she's equal with Lance, but I still disagree with that. As I said with Giovanni, Lance had already fought many battles before that, and he finally lost to Yellow once he had the help of others. When ranking these characters, I'm trying to take everyone at their peak strength, but even with her peak strength that we saw at the end of the series, I truly don't believe that she would be able to beat anyone else in a fresh 6v6 battle. Mainly due to them just being simply stronger, having hacks, or just being more experienced. For 4th, we have Blue. This guy's really grown in power since the last arc, even though he's ranked lower. He's a respectable trainer that managed to defeat Agatha along with some help from Koga. But I'm on the side that alone, Blue would win anyway. He's prepared for anything that comes his way and rarely lets his guard down. He's honed his skills after months alone, even being able to attack ghost Pokemon with physical attacks. Whilst Red wasn't here, he was definitely the most dependable character, and I never felt that he could lose. In this arc, the only time Blue ever struggled was when he had to look after someone other than himself. And even then, he still manages to come out on top. In fact, you could probably argue that he's interchangeable with trainer number 3. And speaking of, for trainer number 3, I've chosen Red. Yeah, that's right, he's gone down in rank once again. But listen, that's only because the last 2 trainers are beasts. Red is a very talented and smart on the battlefield trainer. Just like Blue, he spent his time after the league training really hard, specifically by taking on anyone that challenged him, so he's already got a lot of experience in battling one-on-one. This level of skill and talent made him a major threat or ally to whatever side he was on, and is precisely why the Elite Four wanted to recruit him before they made their move, because he's simply that good. After he rejected them though, 3 of them had to team up together just to lock him away so they can complete their plan. Once he returned, his team was stronger than ever, with his Eevee and his evolution switching shenanigans. But he wasn't unbeatable just yet, as a fully powered Bruno was forcing him into a corner at some points. I say he confidently beats everyone below him, aside from Blue, after a high difficulty battle, but 9 times out of 10 loses to the other 2 trainers. For our runner-up, we have an unexpected trainer for some, and that's gonna be Blaine. Yes, the gym leader of Cinnabar Island. If your game's an anime only, you won't know this guy's secret weapon, and that's the legendary Pokemon Mewtwo. These 2 share a bond that connects them mentally, emotionally, but also physically. If Blaine gets offed, Mewtwo will also be cooked, and that's their one and only weakness. But despite this somewhat simple weakness, I don't think any trainer would be able to defeat Mewtwo before they get to Blaine. Even if we said Red went all out in trying to take down Blaine before Mewtwo, we saw what happened last time the boy had to fight Mewtwo. The Pokemon only fought Lance, where it put up an MVP performance with many moves that would have worked, if Lance didn't have the perfect counter for them. Whilst everyone else has a solid overall team, Blaine is a one-man army, and to be fair, it's probably all he needs. And for Mr. Number 1, we have Lance. I don't think this one's too shocking considering what this guy pulled off during this arc. He only battled 5 times, and 3 of those battles were back-to-back, but despite that, he still manages to hold his own throughout the entire gauntlet. He fought Blaine and Mewtwo, and knew who to target in order to take them down. Like, these guys knew Lance was so strong, instead of trying to take him down themselves, they instead chose to try seal away his Pokeballs, because he was just that much of a threat. He then had to fight against Yellow, who used Mewtwo's strategy. They plunged him in lava, trying to get him gone, but he still managed to find his way out. He then had to fight against Giovanni, where he finally lost, and had to resort to Lugia's power. As I mentioned earlier, he also lost to Yellow, which was due to her having the Viridian powers, combined with the power of friendship. Now, despite losing, Lance is in the same position as Red was earlier. He only lost because he had to fight a gauntlet of trainers. If things are one-on-one, he easily comes out on top. Between his Dragonairs that can control weather, his insane team coordination, and of course, his powers of the Viridian Forest, which we can never forget. If his team's losing, he can straight up just heal them. So with that, those are my top 10 strongest trainers of the Yellow Arc. And if you disagree, feel free to debate me down in the comments. I'd love to hear your opinions, but just make sure you keep it civil. With all that said and done, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.